This is my afternoon walk, water walk, and I just thought I'd film some of it. There's my oldest goat, Heidi. She had twins. Well, she had two, but the one didn't survive. She's so old, but I think that one will survive, that kid. And the piglets, they accept this as kind of their space. When they want, they can go underneath the fence and join the big pigs, but they like to kind of stay there. I'm sorry about the wind. Now this whole area has been terraced, the starting of terracing with Zanjas, the Infiltration. You can see all the way down there next to the paved road, there's pigs grazing. It's irrigated. The area right there with the tussock sedge, that stiff looking stuff, is the only part really that hasn't been grazed down. And I've been flooding it with water this spring, and the pigs, they're gradually going there, but they go where the eating is the best. And they're all spread out because there's a good bit of eating in a lot of places. This water comes from the woods. What's that goat crying about, that baby? Oh, I don't know. Most of the goats have gone up on the hill. He or she probably misses the mother. So nothing spectacular to show you. It's just that I thought you might enjoy the quiet. I think it's a she. Her mother heard her, so finally they're being reunited. I think that's her mother. Her mother may be further up there in the flock, maybe so. But anyway, they heard her. I've got some friends on Facebook that have been following me for over a year and paying pretty close attention. Well, you might remember that this apple tree, look at it. It was all but dead. And this whole area right here was the same. I let the piglets have it, and then I contoured it. I mean, I dug Zanjas across it following the water. And now, I mean, it's really pretty amazing. It wasn't enough for that peach tree, I think it is, to recover. But this apple tree, it's kind of amazing the difference it made. To have that cleaned out and to have it irrigated. I mean, you look at the bottom of it, you can just see how close to dead it was. Their job in here, cleaning up what the goats don't get. They're a little bit bigger. Now see, they can go under the wire, which is okay. The big pigs can't. They're a little bit likely to rough stuff up if they come in there and knock things apart, but the little ones, they control the rats and the mice, because if they didn't get that stuff, there's rats around waiting. They'd be happy to get it. I want to film these 4 pieces of wood. They have got a history, which I don't know if I'll take the occasion right now to tell you the history. But they're pine. They've been in at least 2 buildings, but I'll put them in another one. And look at the way this was. My neighbor thinks that had to be done by hand, and he's probably right. That was probably the underside of a joist. These were used as joists. Now later on, something was done where those nails were put in, but they'll break right off. And they look rotten, but they're not. So I'm going to do something with them. They've been out in the weather, for years, buried under a floor. But anyway, I wanted to show you. I found them in the wood that my neighbor had given me to just burn up for firewood. Not those. That's where I just was. Now, speaking of wood, I wanted you to see this again. I filmed this when it was about half that height. I'm about to take this down, put it on the truck, and take it up into the woods. I've built enough of it that I know how it's going to go. This is going to be I'm going to call it a folk cabin, and it'll be underneath a folk hut. And it's 8 by 8. The door is really big. I'll use a curtain here at first. I'm going to go up another course probably, or maybe even 2. And then I've got to have I made a mistake, well, in that this should go straight across, even if I have to duck under to go inside there. This would be a bed. It should be probably 4 inches higher. That will be a table or a workbench, one or the other, and it probably also will go 4 inches higher, maybe 8. And there could be a second bed on top of that, like bunk beds, the same there. I have this here as a shelf. These are just laying there, these slats, but that's the way it'll be. Anyway, I have it enough figured out that I'm going to take it apart, take it out of here, and take it on up into the woods, and you'll see me putting it together. Now this area in here I could fill in with plastic, probably will, and then what I'll do is on the inside I'll put feed sacks, empty feed sacks. I'll staple them on there. I've got so many of them. And then I'll use this kind of material in a way to panel it. It'll be paneled on the inside with wood. Ultimately, it really should be infilled here with clay or plaster. But I'm not going to be in too big a hurry to do that because the wind will be stopped. And I could always wrap it in something. So anyway, I just thought I'd show you that. These need to be cantilevered out let me think, this is 8, and this needs to be 12 foot 5 inches, so 2 foot and 2.5 inches out, because when I plan to set a folk hut, as I think I told you before, like that except higher, on top of it, and the footprint for a folk hut needs to be 8 by 12 foot 5. This is 8 by 8. And so I'm going to have to get out here with something strong enough to bear the, as a, what do you call it, a load point out about this far. It'll be fun. So anyway, I wanted to show you the way that was. I just laid it up. There's not a nail in it. All of this stuff is just there. I'll put corner boards on, put a casing, jambs and casing on the door. And windows is just going to be thick pieces of glass. You'll see, but I just thought I'd show it to you because it could be that when a fella if he comes tomorrow to help me, I may just dive into it and take that down and then take it up into the woods to get it ready to restack. Now, I've got something else to do to show you that's going to be a little bit more of an action venue, and that's way out there. So I'm going to go out there next.